So I'm a real estate investor, right? And in the past, I moved from New York to Atlanta, And in New York, I had a P.O. box. My properties are in Pennsylvania, okay? So I have properties in Pennsylvania. I used to live in New York and I moved to Atlanta. Now, as a result of moving from New York to Atlanta, I guess my mistake, I didn't necessarily change my address. So I was still having bills from my Pennsylvania address going to my P.O. box in New York. And I didn't set up the mail forwarding. Okay, so shame on me. But long story short, I received a collection on my credit report about 4 years later after moving. Crazy. And it was in regard to a utility bill for one of my investment properties. And I just thought this was so absurd. And so I ended up calling the utility company. They're like, well, we sent you this bill to your P.O. box. And yeah, it was 4 years ago. And I was thinking, well, why didn't you report it immediately? Why report now when I actually have a deal on the contract? I kid you not. I was buying another investment property, showed up on my credit report. Mortgage lender called me and said, hey, what's up? What's going on with this? It caught me off guard. It blindsided me, right? But I had to make sure that I take corrective action because I didn't want this deal to fall through because of this collection. And it's not like the collection was, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. It might have been $300 or less. I forgot the exact dollar amount, but it was a utility bill from a property in which I owned, right? Owned previously because I sold it, right? Of course, if I owned it and it was in my name, it would have got shut off. So you might be thinking, well, why was a utility bill in your name, period? It was an investment property. Well, with some properties, like the water bill, I have it in my name because the water is not separated for each tenant, right? Or some properties, when a tenant moves out, the water bill gets reverted back into my name until I find a new tenant, and the tenant gets the water bill in their name. So either one of those scenarios could happen, but that's besides the point. The point is, I got this collection on my credit report out of nowhere for something that happened 4 years ago. And I have a deal on a contract that's in jeopardy as a result of this collection. So what did I do? So in this situation, what I typically advise is you want to start sending out disputes, right, to get that negative item removed. But as I shared, I had a deal under contract. So I didn't really have 30 days to dispute this negative item off my credit report, or 60 days, or however long it takes. Because sometimes these collections can be stubborn. It can take them some time to actually come off your credit report. And I didn't have that time because we were closing soon. So what I decided to do, I just called the collection company based upon, you know, I received this letter in the mail. It finally got forwarded to my address somehow. I'm not sure what happened. And so, or it was on my credit report, so I called them or whatever. And I called to settle. I settled maybe 50 to 70 cents on the dollar, something along those lines. It's about 300. I might have paid them 150 to 200. And then it didn't come off immediately. And I made sure they do, you know, paper delete, not paper delete, but hey, if I pay it, get this deleted from my credit report. So they didn't do it immediately. So then I quickly sent out a letter to challenge it off the bureaus, and guess what? It got removed, just like that. So that's what I advise. I always recommend, if you get the time, dispute it, get it removed, don't settle. But if it's time sensitive, such as you have a property in the contract and it's hindering you from closing, then you might want to reach out to the collection company, settle, pay as agreed, and so forth. Now, I'm interested in learning more about how you can get access to those dispute letters, so that way you can challenge these negative items on your credit report, especially if you're trying to leverage your credit for real estate investing or business purposes. Then all you got to do is just check the link below to learn more. We have a free training for you to help you scrub these negative items and boost your score some 100, 200, 300 points. Because some people, they may be in the 500s and they would love to get in the 800 club, but at least 680, you're good to go. That's considered great credit. So all you got to do, my friend, is check the link below to learn more. As always, guys, to your success, continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.